Hey, hello everyone. For today, I will be discussing the last part of the digestive system of the monogastric animals, more specifically on the digestive system of the chicken. So, this is the parts or these are the parts of the alimentary canal. Pag sinabi natin na alimentary canal, this is the pathway by which the food will pass through. Okay? So, this starts in the mouth, the pharynx, esophagus. Then, for the monogastric animals, it is a simple stomach. So, we have here the crop, the proventriculus, which is considered to be the true stomach. And then we have the gizzard or the ventriculus. And then after that one, it will go on with the intestines, the small and large, which is comprised with the cecum, rectum, and then we have the anus at saka vent. Okay, so let's start first with the functions of the mouth, although I have already discussed this one when it comes to the previous discussion. So when it comes to the ingestion, that is just the other term of those feed materials that are prehensile. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, when it comes to prehension, just go back with my previous discussion that is just the way or the process of the animal in getting that food or that food material. Okay? And then mastication, that is just the grinding of food materials. Then deglutition, that is for swallowing, the other term of swallowing. And then gastric and intestinal digestion, absorption of nutrients, and then last one would be the excretion or elimination of waste. So this is the entire digestive system of the chicken. So let's start first. So it says here that the digestive tract of the bird begins with the beak, which does not contain lips or teeth. So ibig sabihin, when it comes to the digestive system of the chicken, there is no such thing as mastication. Okay? Kasi wala namang chewing na nangyayari. So yung tongue nila is rigid and then the prehensile organ for the chicken, that is for the beak. Then it says here in birds, the salivary glands are poorly developed. So take note of that the mouth of the chicken, there is no such thing as for the lips or teeth, but then it is in the presence of the beak. Then for the taste buds, a maximum of only around 350 taste buds. So sabi dito, don't have any receptors for capsaicin. So ano tong capsaicin? This is just a receptor or taste receptor when it comes to the spiciness of the food. So wala silang ganong receptor. And then they have a good tolerance when it comes to the sour na food. They are either attracted to neither bitter nor sweeter or salty na food. Pero pinaka-sensitive sila dito sa part ng bitter. Okay? Then ovoid shape, and then they are appear mostly near the openings of the salivary glands. Only 2% of the chicken taste buds are located in the posterior tongue. So majority of the chicken taste buds, it is located in the epithelium of the palate, that is around 69%. And then for the base of the oral cavity, that is 29% for the anterior mandibular gland region. Okay? So, same lang din naman yung function nila from the mouth, then it will go on with the pharynx, and then it will go on with the esophagus or the gullet. So, it is a musculomembranous tube extending from the pharynx to the stomach. So, always take note that when it comes to the esophagus, it has a sphincter. So, when it comes to sphincter, parang ito yung nagpre-prevent or nagpre-prevent for the backflow of the food. So, as in mammals, the mouth is connected to the esophagus. So in chickens, the distal end of the esophagus has a specialized area. So ito yung unique sa kanila kasi meron silang storage of feed which is called as the crop. So let's try to have the crop. Okay. So, function-wise, yung crop, it is considered to be the storage area. Pero take note that hindi pa dito nagaganap yung totoong digestion. So, what happens is, pag yung chicken is kumain, yung feed material will slides down to the esophagus. Then naiipon muna or nai-store muna doon sa crab. Parang holding chamber bago dumiretso sa proventriculus at saka sa gizzard. So bakit? What is the importance? What is the importance of the crab? Number one is it regulates feeding. So hindi kasi kayang i-digest ng manok yung lahat ng feed material na sabay-sabay. So, the crop will allow them, okay, it allows them to eat fast pero it will digest slowly. Kaya nga nagiging temporary storage siya. And then another one is it moistens the feed. So, habang naka-store sa crop, namomoisten ngayon yung feed with saliva at saka gastric juices. Okay? Na umakyat pabalik. So preparing now the feed para mas madali siyang i-process doon sa gizzard. And then another one is night energy reserve. Usually at night, especially sa mga free-range na chickens or free-range na birds, napupuno yung kanilang crop. Then unti-unti itong nagre-release ng food sa rest of the GI tract habang nagpapahinga yung manok. Okay? Pero when it comes to the condition naman, meron tayong tinatawag na condition, yung tinatawag natin na impacted crop. Okay? Kung saan hindi nakakalabas yung feed dahil sobrang dry or medyo malalaki yung mga particles. And then, pag sinabi naman natin na sour crop, sour that is just like yung ano lang, maasim, sour crop. Kapag nagkakaroon naman ng fermentation doon sa loob ng crop, dahil hindi parang hindi gumagana or umaandar yung movement ng crop. Okay? So yun yung for the crop. Then I have already discussed this one when it comes to the stomach. We have here the different regions. So you already know that when it comes to the esophageal, non-glandular is una. So there is no such thing for secretion. For the cardiac region, it secretes now the mucus para lang ma-protect yung acidity. Okay, para maprotektar yung mismong wall or inner lining walls ng mga ng stomach mismo. So it secretes the mucus para at least man lang mabawasan yung acidity. And then another one would be the fundic region. So in terms now of the fundic region, this is now the secretion of the hydrochloric acid. So again, pag meron ng hydrochloric acid, of course, there is the gastric enzyme, which is the pepsin that is being activated or it is being activated because of the presence of the hydrochloric acid. And then last one would be pyloric region that would be the latter end part of the stomach, which now after that one, it will become now, or it will start with the small intestine, more specifically on the duodenum. Now, in birds, particularly sa mga chickens natin, ang stomach nila is consisted of two parts. So meron tayong tinatawag na proventriculus and then the gizzard. Ngayon, let's try to focus muna tayo when it comes to the proventriculus kasi ito yung glandular stomach kung saan it starts talaga yung chemical phase of the digestion. Okay? So when it comes to the anatomy of the proventriculus, it is located caudal to the crab. So you already know what is a caudal. Okay? So that is just makinglik-likod lang a portion of the crop. So, ibig sabihin, pagkatapos ma-store at saka ma-moisten yung feed sa crop, diretso ito pababa sa esophagus hanggang sa makarating siya dito sa proventriculus. Now, when it comes to the physiology, dito natin makikita yung specialized glandular cells. Okay? Ano itong mga specialized glandular cells? Sila yung responsible in the secretion of the hydrochloric acid at saka yung pepsinogen. Okay? As what I've said from my previous discussion, when it comes na meron tayong naririnig or meron tayong na-encounter na OGEN at the end of a specific enzyme, ibig sabihin it is inactive form pa lang siya. Okay? So, since it is inactive form, kailangan muna siyang i-convert, okay? Kailangan muna siyang ma-activate para maging active na enzyme. So, when it comes to the pepsinogen, okay? Ang nakikita ninyo kasi sa slide is pepsin, pero it should be pepsinogen if this is inactive form. Okay? Ang pepsin that is now the active form of the pepsinogen being converted or being stimulated by the hydrochloric acid. Now, ano tong mga hydrochloric acid na to? These are produced by the parietal cells within the proventriculus. So, ano ang main purpose nito is it lowers yung pH level to an acidic level. Okay? Yun yung purpose ng hydrochloric acid. So, one good na importance when it comes to this acid is this is very essential kasi i-activate niya yung pepsinogen into pepsin. Now, when it comes to the pepsin naman, Ang mga chief-like cells within the proventriculus also, sila yung nagre-release ng pepsinogen. Okay, take note again, ang pepsin nanggaling siya sa pepsinogen. Na-convert lang siya, it's because of the presence of the hydrochloric acid. So kapag na-expose sa acidic environment, etong pepsinogen due to the hydrochloric acid, so doon na nagiging pepsin. Which is, what kind of enzyme is this one? This is a proteolytic enzyme. So ibig sabihin, pag sinabi natin na proteolytic enzymes, these are the enzymes that break down the proteins into smaller peptides. So this is very important physiologically dahil yung mga birds natin, they lack the true mastication. They do not chew. They don't have the teeth for them to chew. So eto yun na yung parang nagiging one physiological na digestion. So the proventriculus now compensates by initiating the chemical digestion of the large protein molecules even before they will reach the grinding action of the gizzard. Okay? Now, another role for this one, yung proventriculus ng mga chicken, sila yung nag-a-add ng first significant amount of digestive juices doon sa GI tract ng mga avian animals natin. Hindi tulad ng crop na storage lang, dito na nagiging chemically active yung mga feed. Okay, yung mga feed material. So, interestingly, ang rapid transit ng ingesta sa proventriculus around base from the slide is only 14 seconds. Okay? Pero kahit mabilis, sapat na yung time na ito para ma-expose yung feed to acid, to pepsin, and other glandular secretion. So yung fast passage na ito, this is just a normal physiology in our birds. Kasi dahil hindi sila mammals na merong bulky stomach kasi medyo or it's only a short or it's only small yung kanilang stomach, kailangan nilang efficient and continuous yung flow ng ingesta. So, the gizzard now will take care of the mechanical breakdown. Kaya ang trabaho ng proventriculus is just quick. Pero kung makikita ninyo is although it is only 14 seconds, quick pero powerful is because of the chemical digestion that is happening now in the proventriculus. Okay, so here, eto na siya. When it comes to the proventriculus, and then these are just the anatomical parts of the proventriculus. Now, another na digestion, when it comes to the proventriculus, they are made up of CHON. So pag sinabi natin, CHON is digested, so these are now the proteins. Okay? So again, sa mga birds natin, there is under the proventriculus there is an appreciable digestion ng CHON or mga proteins dahil dito nagsisimula, as what I've said, yung real na chemical at saka enzymatic digestion. So paglabas ng pagkain mula sa crop, papasok ito sa proventriculus. Dito makikita natin yung mga specialized glandular cells na nagsisecrete ng hydrochloric acid at saka yung pepsinogen. So kapag nailabas na ang hydrochloric acid, so syempre bumababa ngayon yung pH sa loob ng glandular stomach. At itong acidic environment ang nag-a-activate ng pepsinogen para maging pepsin, so which is the primary na proteolytic enzyme sa stomach ng mga birds natin. So habang ini-expose ang feed sa ganitong acidic at saka enzyme-rich na environment, nagsisimula ng ma-denature yung mga protein molecules. So nangyayari yung unfolding ng complex protein structures para maging mas accessible sa enzymatic breakdown. So dito din nagsisimula yung sinasabi nating initial digestion of food, kung saan yung mga large na molecules, yung mga compact feed particles from the crop ay unti-unti nang medyo nababasa na siya, naliliquify, as well as nabreakdown now into smaller na fragments. So, another one, one also of the major or most important na physiological processes sa stomach is yung conversion. Okay, conversion ng solid feed into a semi-liquid mixture. So with the help of the gastric secretions, okay, nadadagdagan ngayon yung moisture content ng feed kaya nagiging slurry-like. Okay, parang slurry. So ano yung slurry? So when it comes to the food that is just a like for example a cornstarch that is being um mix with water. So anong purpose ng slurry? Pampalapot. So parang ganun yung nangyayari dito when it comes to the proventriculus. Nagiging slurry-like na yung mga feed materials or yung mga feed particles. So medyo lumalapot na sila. So mas madaling dalhin ngayon ng digestive tract. So kahit mabilis lang yung pagdaan ng ingesta, as what I've said, it's only around 14 seconds sa proventriculus. It is already right yung time tsaka yung span para it's because of the highly concentrated yung mga secretions. Kaya kahit short retention time, nagkakaroon pa rin ng appreciable na CHON na digestion or yung mga protein digestions natin. Okay? Now, pagkatapos dumaan yung food or yung feeds sa proventriculus, kung saan nangyayari yung initial chemical digestion, papasok naman ngayon ito sa ventriculus or yung tinatawag natin as the gizzard. So, ang gizzard, ang primary mechanical stomach ng mga birds natin and physiologically, ito yung responsible in the actual grinding and physical breakdown of feed. So, kung ang proventriculus ang gumagawa ng chemical preparation, ang gizzard naman ang nagbibigay ng mechanical processing. So, anatomically, ang ventriculus, it is located at the caudal to the proventriculus and mapapansin ninyo talaga na mas malaki tsaka mas bilog siya and even mas thicker at saka tougher yung muscular wall compared with the glandular stomach. Ito ay is because of the main job of the proventriculus that is to provide ng strong tsaka repetitive and tsaka coordinated na muscular contractions para i-break down or para i-grind yung mga feed into very fine particles. So, sa mga birds natin, as what I've said, wala silang teeth. So ang gizzard ang nagsisilbing kapalit ng chewing mechanism. Okay? So that is for the anatomy. When it comes to the physiology naman, highly specialized ang kanyang mga smooth muscle layers and this is arranged in a way na kayang gumawa ng powerful na grinding motions. So isa pang unique aspect ng ventriculus is yung presence ng grit. So eto siya. May contain grit eaten by the bird to facilitate digestion. So these are small stones or even coarser na particles na talagang ini-ingest ng mga birds natin. So hindi ito accidental na like for example, they just picked yung mismong like for example, the grain, okay, grains of rice, okay, syempre meron doon na sumasama ng mga grits, okay? So hindi ito accidental, part ito talaga ng normal feeding behavior ng mga chickens. So ang grit ang nagsiserve as internal grinding tool. So anong ibig sabihin? Iniipit nila at saka iniikutan ng strong contractions ng muscular walls ng gizzard para mas effective na madurog or mag-grind yung feed. So with the combination now of the muscular strength at saka yung grit, so nagagawa ngayon ng ventriculus na gawing finely ground material yung ingesta which is very essential para maging efficient yung absorption later on doon sa small intestine. So kapag mas finer na yung particle size, mas fine na yung particle size, mas expose ang surface area ng feed to intestinal enzymes kaya mas maganda yung nutrient extraction. Okay? So habang grind yung feed, importante ring tandaan ninyo na hindi purely mechanical ang gizzard. Okay? So, pag sinabi natin na hindi purely mechanical yung gizzard, patuloy pa rin dito yung mixing ng partially digested food with the secretions na galing kanina doon sa proventriculus. So kahit wala itong glands na active okay, sa secretion ng enzymes, yung strong tsaka tough na churning, okay, or mixing movement ng ventriculus, siya yung nagme-make sure na it is well distributed yung acid at saka enzymes sa whole mass ng ingesta. So ibig sabihin, mechanical and chemical processing work together even though the gizzard specializes sa mechanical function. Okay? Now, another one, one interesting na physiological characteristic din ng ventriculus is yung pagde-deposit ng fat around the gizzard. So if you have already observed dissecting a chicken or dressing a chicken, you will be observing that the gizzard is deposited with fats or it is even surrounded by fats. So common ito sa mga poultry species natin. Okay? Ang fat pad na ito, hindi lang siya storage. Meron din siyang role when it comes to the protection tsaka stability. So since the gizzard contracts powerfully, okay, medyo powerful yung pagko-contract kasi niya and continuous pa yung contraction niya, yung surrounding fat will help cushion and support it. Okay? So ibig sabihin, aside from being supportive layer with the gizzard, so serve din to as an energy is reserve or energy reserve kasi yun naman yung main na function ng mga fats natin. Okay? That is just to serve as an energy source if that specific organ or if that specific body needs an energy. Okay? So yun yung nangyayari. So kailangan na ma-emulsify yung mga fats natin. Now, inside the gizzard, meron tayong tinatawag na tough na coiling layer. So ano tong coiling layer? This is a keratin-like na protective lining that prevents yung strong grinding forces from the damaging the stomach itself. So ang coiling layer constantly na nagbabago siya pero sapat yung tibay niya para kayanin yung friction between the food, between the grit at saka yung doon sa muscular wall. So ito yung dahilan kung bakit kayang-kaya ng ventriculus na i-handle yung mga pinakamahirap na feed particles or feed textures like for example, yung mga dry grains, okay? Mga seeds or even with yung mga fibrous na materials. It's because of that one. It's very powerful yung kanilang gizzard. So, eto, sabi dito, ang muscular contractions is every 20 to 30 seconds. Now, eto na yung sinasabi ko kanina that the gizzard is a muscular area with a hardened lining, yung tinatawag natin na cuticle of choline. So, this cuticle of choline, it is a polysaccharide a protein complex or a mucoprotein present due to the solidifying of the glandular secretion and it is replenished and it is worn down. So it includes action of grit as well as hydrochloric acid and pepsin secreted in proventriculus. So the ventriculus empties into the small intestine. So ibig sabihin now after the ventriculus, this is very important lalong-lalo na since you will be dissecting a chicken next week. So you need to have this one as after yung mismong ventriculus which is the gizzard, ang tawag na natin ngayon doon is through the pyloric sphincter. So ang first na segment now of the small intestine after the gizzard is we have the duodenum. And then from the duodenum, we have the jejunum, and then we have the ileum, and then the cecum, colon, rectum, at saka until the cloaca or vent of the chicken. So, eto na siya. So, this is, eto na yung pinaka latter end of the gizzard. And then, this would be the start of the duodenum. Then, okay, so eto siya. This is the duodenum. So, ang baseline natin when it comes to the duodenum is, basta, kasi eto nandoon or nandito sa loob niya or gitna niya, this is the pancreas. Okay, so this is the pancreas of the chicken. So, kung saan lang yung head tsaka tail portion ng pancreas, doon lang yung buong duodenum or yung tatawag natin na duodenal loop. So within the tail end of the pancreas, that would be the end of the duodenum and that would be the start of the jejunum. Kasi ang jejunum yung second segment. So paglabas ng pagkain mula sa gizzard, papasok na ito ngayon sa duodenum. Okay, so ito na yung pinaka-cranial at saka pinaka-first part or pinaka-first segment of the small intestine. So sa mga birds, hindi lang basta straight tube yung duodenum. So distinctive duodenal loop na parang if you want observe from this one, U-shape yung structure na this is very important when it comes to the physiology ng digestion. So again, as what I've said, nakapaloob dito yung pancreas. Kaya ang duodenal loop ang nagiging parang central hub ng digestive enzyme secretion tsaka nutrient breakdown. So habang pumupunta ngayon dito yung partially digested chyme mula sa gizzard papunta sa duodenum. Dito na yung nagsisimula yung intense na chemical digestion ng mga carbohydrates, ng proteins at saka even with fats dahil sa mga pancreatic secretions. So ang pancreas yung nakalagay sa gitna ng duodenal loop yung may direct na anatomical tsaka functional connection sa duodenum. So ang mga enzymes nito kasama yung mga proteases, yung amylase, yung lipase, okay? Dinadala doon sa duodenal lumen with the help of the pancreatic ducts. Kaya siguradong fresh and even active at mas mataas yung concentration ng digestive enzymes na kumukompleto sa digestion. So ang setup na ito, this is very highly efficient kasi habang gumagalaw yung chyme, ano ba yung chyme? That is just the stomach contents coming from the stomach. Pero take note that the chyme is already, hindi na siya ganun ka-acidic. Okay? So habang gumagalaw yung chyme dito sa U-shape ng duodenum, paulit-ulit itong nalalagyan ng enzyme-rich secretions para magkaroon ng enzymatic digestion. So bukod sa, aside from the enzymes, ang pancreas din yung naglalabas ng bicarbonate na tumutulong para i-neutralize or i-buffer yung acidic na chyme na galing sa proventriculus at saka sa gizzard. So kung ang mangyayari kasi kung mananatiling acidic yung content pagdating sa small intestine, ang mangyayari, may expose sa irritation or there will be a damage doon sa mucosal lining. So, kaya ang duodenal loop, this is very critical when it comes to the acid neutralization para ma-make sure natin na right yung pH para maging active yung mga pancreatic enzymes at para protektado yung intestinal wall. So dahil dito, yung duodenum ang nagiging main site ng chemical conversion ng nutrients. So ang proteins na partially digested ng pepsin kanina, it is continued na ma-hydrolyze into small peptides at saka amino acids. Then yung mga starches naman nagiging maltose at saka glucose, yung fats, okay, nag-start na din na i-emulsify at i-break down para maging absorbable later on sa jejunum. So ito yung main reason kung bakit physiologically ang duodenum ang may pinaka-intense na enzyme activity sa whole na segments of the small intestine. Okay? Now, meron tayong statement dito, this organ is seldom involved in pathology. So, with a lot of the physiological processes that are happening in small intestine, interestingly, rarely involved in pathology ang duodenum ng birds. Ibig sabihin, bihirang-bihira itong magkaroon ng mga disease conditions compared sa ibang segments or parts of the GI tract. So, hindi ito madaling ma-irritate, okay? Hindi rin ito prone sa obstruction or hindi rin madaling kapitan ng mga inflammatory lesions. Okay? So isa sa mga dahilan is yung mabilis na movement ng chyme at saka yung efficient na neutralization of acid dahil sa pancreas is because of the bicarbonate ion. So dahil hindi tumatagal yung contents dito sa part na to, hindi gaanong nag-a-accumulate ng yung mga harmful na materials or harmful na bacteria, kaya minimal yung chance na magkaroon ng pathological changes. Okay, so that is for the duodenal loop. So after the duodenum, so like for example, oh, eto siya. When it comes na magda-dissect kayo ngayon or next week, so this will be the start. Ito na yung duodenal loop na tinatawag natin. So makikita natin dito sa part na to yung mismong pancreas. So kung ano yung magiging end portion ng pancreas dito, this would be the end portion of the duodenum and then will be the start of the jejunum. Okay? Now, another one. Eto din, pagkapasok ng chyme mula sa duodenum, papunta na ngayon dito sa um, yeah, papunta na ngayon dito sa duodenum. So meron na tayo dito yung mga nutrient absorption. So ang proximal portion ng small intestine, lalo na yung duodenum at saka yung upper na jejunum, sila yung pinaka-active when it comes to absorption. So dito concentrated yung mga villi at saka microvilli na nagbibigay ng great contribution when it comes to the widening of surface area para mas mabilis at mas efficient yung uptake ng mga nutrients. So this is already on the part of the jejunum na part. Okay? So it's very important to note na kahit dito, pinakamarami yung absorption. Lahat ng segments ng small intestine, mayroon silang kakayahan na mag-absorb. Kahit ang ileum, kahit considered to be distal na siya, is meron din siyang role in the absorption ng certain nutrients like for example ng mga bile salts at saka mga other na vitamins. So ibig sabihin, absorption is not exclusive to one segment of the small intestine, distributed pero uneven nga lang siya. Kasi with the upper segments performing the majority of their work. So kapag na-breakdown na ang proteins into amino acids tsaka yung small peptides, kay mabalis na lang transport papasok na ngayon doon sa enterocytes. So you already know what is the enterocytes kasi I have already discussed that one in the digestive system of the pigs. So with the help of the carrier proteins at saka active transport mechanism. So just like with my previous discussion, yung mga fats naman na na-emulsify at na-convert into micelles is yun yung ginagawang chylomicrons inside the enterocytes bago ilipat sila sa lymphatic or circulatory system depending on the species. So, ang vitamins, lalong-lalo na yung mga fat-soluble vitamins, okay, yung mga ADEC, sumasabay sila sa lipid absorption. So habang yung water-soluble vitamins, dumadaan sila sa diffusion at carrier mediated na mechanisms. And then when it comes to the minerals naman, like for example, the calcium, the phosphorus, the sodium, the potassium, they have a separate, kaya meron silang kanya-kanyang specialized transport system na with the needs of the body. Now, sabi dito, digestion and absorption within SI is rapid for the chicken within 30 minutes of entering the small intestine. So, kapag pumasok ang ingesta sa small intestine within 30 minutes, a significant portion now of the digestible ng nutrient or digestible nutrients ay fully absorbed na. So, again, ang bilis na ito is because of the combination ng large surface area, is because of the villus or the villi and then the microvilli, okay, yung rapid na peristaltic movement, tsaka yung potent na pancreatic tsaka intestinal enzymes, and of course, the efficient transport systems ng epithelial cells. Kaya kahit mabilis ang transit time sa mga birds natin, hindi ito problem dahil sobrang efficient yung small intestinal machinery nila. Okay? Now, so eto naman sa part na to, 'di ba nasabi ko na sa inyo yung like for example, eto na part. So this would be the start of the jejunum. Now what would be our marker for the end of the jejunum? So ang end naman ng jejunum would be here. The Meckel's diverticulum, tikas lang rating. So dapat masapulan yun to ayan, intestine dito yung Meckel's diverticulum. So this would be the end portion of the jejunum sa part na to. And then after the Meckel's diverticulum, that would be now the start of the ileum. So, eto siya. So, like for example, o nandito kumbaga yung mismong tawag nito, nandito mismo yung Meckel's diverticulum, let's just say nandito siya. So until sa part na to, this would be the end naman ng ileum. Okay? Pag meron kayo nakita dito na parang mga tonsils, ang tawag kasi natin dito is mga tonsils. So pag meron kayo nakita na tonsils na dito, this would be the end of the ileum and this would be the start of the cecum or the cica. Ito, teared gland siya yung mga cecum. So this would be, ito naman yung start and end portion ng cecum, and then dito naman yung mismong colon na part with the large intestine. Okay? So, after the nutrient absorption in the small intestine, yung mga natitirang material dumadaan ngayon sa large intestine. So, sa mga birds, anatomically distinct at saka it is paired or it is consisted of a pair of a ceca and then a short na straight intestine na tinatawag din natin na colon or rectum. Okay? So, ang rectum ng birds is structurally at functionally similar sa rectum ng mga mammals. Ito yung last segment kung saan nag-accumulate yung mga fecal material bago ito ilabas sa cloaca. Okay, ano ang cloaca? That is the common exit ng urinary, digestive at saka reproductive tracts kasi wala naman silang, ang mga birds natin wala silang mga penis at saka vagina or even vulva. So ang main na common exit, okay, pare-parehas or similar when it comes to the outputs of the urinary system, the digestive system, and then the reproductive system, iisa yung kanilang passage, okay, which is ang the cloaca. Now, kakaiba naman ito sa mga birds kasi ang sika, it is paired. Dalawa sila. Kumpara sa isa lang sa karamihan ng mga monogastrics natin kasi isa lang yung sika. Ito sa mga birds natin, dalawa. So, ano yung purpose? Ang dalawang sika na ito, ang pinaka-main purpose nila is for the microbial fermentation, lalo na sa mga fibrous materials, okay? Yung mga cellulose, yung ano yung mga cellulose tsaka hemicellulose, that is just the main component of the grasses or mga raffiges. Kasi hindi naman natin maiiwasan na yung mga birds natin is kumakain din ng mga grasses, yung mga tip portion ng mga grasses. Okay? So yung mga yon, yung mga fibrous materials, mga residual nutrients na hindi na-digest or na-absorb sa small intestine. Okay? So kahit hindi ito kasing laki o kasing functional ng rumen sa mga ruminants, nagbibigay pa din ito ng limited pero still, kahit limited man siya, important pa din na fermentative capacity para sa synthesis ng some vitamins at partial fiber breakdown. Okay? So, other one na important point when it comes to the physiology, ang large intestine ay napakaikli when it comes to the chicken. Mga 2 to 4 inches lang. Kaya mabilis din yung transit ng ingesta. So dahil dito, hindi nag-accumulate ng matagal yung mga contents, okay, yung mga feed contents at saka limitadong absorption lang ng water at electrolytes yung nangyayari sa large intestine. So ang pangunahing function ng large intestine sa mga birds is final consolidation ng fecal material. And then of course, para ma-ready sa excretion. So dito rin nagkakaroon ng mixing ng fecal content sa colon bago maipasa doon sa cloaca. And then sa cloaca, nagtatagpo ngayon yung digestive, as well as sa digestive, urinary at saka reproductive tracts. Kaya ang fecal material ay voided via the vent. Okay? So eto yung mismong sika. So dalawa na terminal pouches na nakapwesto sa junction ng small at saka large intestine. Okay? So again, as what I've said kanina, ang pinaka-main function ng sika is fermentation ng mga leftover na food na hindi na-digest or na-absorb sa small intestine. So like for example, again, yung mga fibrous particles or cellulose na nag-stay sa chyme, dito na partially nabubuo into simpler compounds ng mga microbes na present sa cecal lumen. So, with the help of the microbial activity, so merong synthesis ng mga ilang vitamins, like for example, yung mga B-complex vitamins na maaring ma-utilize ng katawan ng birds. Okay? So, eto siya. Inside the paired sika of the bird, so makikita natin yung mga diverse na microbial population na tumutulong when it comes to the fermentation and nutrient processing. So isa sa pinaka-importanteng grupo is yung tinatawag natin na cellulitic bacteria. Okay? Specialize itong mga to sa pagbuo or paggawa ng cellulose mula sa forages at even with the fibroseed. So dahil ang birds, lalo na ang herbivorous or even yung mga omnivorous na species, hindi makadigest ng cellulose uh, with the help of their own na enzyme. So ang mga cellulitic microbes ang tumutulong with the partial breakdown of the fiber. Okay? So anong mangyayari if there is a partial breakdown of the fiber? So merong maproproduce na short chain na fatty acids na pwedeng ma-utilize bilang energy source. Okay? Now, another one is the amylolytic bacteria. Ito naman yung mga responsible in the digestion ng starches at saka sugars mula sa mga concentrates or grains. So sila yung nagko-convert ng complex carbohydrates into simple sugars at saka further fermentation products na tumutulong syempre sa energy availability. Now, bukod sa dalawang groups na to, kay nagfo-ferment din, may ibang mga microbial types din na present. We have here yung proteolytic bacteria na nagfo-ferment ng residual proteins at mga specific na genera or genus ng mga Clostridium. Okay? May mga role itong mga to when it comes to the fermentation and production ng organic acids. Then meron ding mga organic acid utilizers at saka mga methanogens na etong mga methanogens naman sila yung nagpo-produce ng mga gases. Like for example, etong mga to, the CO2, the H2 formate, and then the CH4. So ang mga microbial activities na mga to, the cellulitic, amylolytic, proteolytic, organic acid utilizers, and then the methanogens, ito yung main reason kung bakit ang fermentation is merong kasamang gas fermentation. Okay? Physiologically, it's very important yung processes na ito with the efficient utilization ng residual nutrients, yung hydration, and even with the balance ng intestinal environment. So ang feces ng birds, hindi lang basta excreted food. Okay, kasama rito yung mga sloughed epithelial cells. Pag sinabi natin na sloughed epithelial cells, mga dead cells na to. That is just SLOUGHED. Sloughed epithelial cells. Okay? So, nandito yung mga dead cells natin, yung mga undigested food particles, tsaka yung mga microbial matter, kaya rich sila sa microbial mass. Okay, and then I have already discussed the cloaca. This is just, eto na siya, common passage for the digestive, urinary, and reproductive system products. Now, here, kapag ang fecal material ay ready nang i-excrete sa birds, merong specialized physiological mechanism, ang cloaca, na nagme-make sure na maayos as well as controlled yung paglabas nito. So, with the process of excretion, ang cloaca nagfo-fall back papunta doon sa vent. So, with this kind of movement, yung rectal opening ng large intestine ay naipupush palabas para mailabas yung fecal material. Okay? So, ang folding back ng cloaca, this is very important kasi ito rin yung nagko-close ng reproductive tract opening habang nagkakaroon ng excretion. Kasi as what I've said kanina, common yung passageway ng urinary, digestive, at saka reproductive. So in that case, kailangan mag-close yung folding back ng cloaca. Kailangan i-close niya yung isang certain na system if merong nangyayaring other part of the system. So ganun yung nangyayari when it comes to the reproductive tract opening. Nag-close siya if there is an excretion that is happening para maiwasan yung contamination ng mga reproductive products and of course, ma-maintain yung hygiene ng cloaca at saka yung vent area. So, ang process na ito, it is coordinated with the help of the smooth muscles and again, syempre, ano yung magpre-prevent ng backflow is always the sphincter. So, yung mga sphincter-like structures sa cloaca at saka sa vent. So ang smooth muscle contractions, sila yung nagpupush sa mga fecal material with the right direction at saka nagbibigay ng control sa timing at force ng excretion. Okay? So that is for the cloaca. Now, we have here the action of digestion in poultry. You'll just need to memorize this one. Ito yung mga enzymes, ano yung action ng enzyme, and ano yung detail. Okay, ano yung mga remarks nito. Like for example, for the mouth cavity. Pero again, as what I've said, minimal or wala ito sa part na to. So sa small intestine, so nandito na yung mga pancreatic amylases. Okay, and then what would be the action? So, i-convert nila yung maltose to glucose, etc. Etong SI dito, this is just the small intestine. Okay, then we have the other organs. I think I have already discussed also this one, yung liver, doon sa digestive system ng mga baboy. So dito na lang sa part na to, ang absorption ng digestion or ng fat digestion products is happening mostly sa first 100 centimeter ng small intestine kung saan nandoon yung micelles. Ang micelles that is spelled MICELLES. Micelles na nabuo from the bile salts na nagdadala ng lipids papasok doon sa enterocytes. So again, sa within the inside of the enterocytes, yung fats nire-reassemble bilang chylomicrons na pwedeng i-transport sa lymphatic system or sa circulatory system depending always with the species. So, after that one, ang primary at saka secondary bile acids ay halos entirely absorb or reabsorb sa ileum. Okay? Ang reabsorption na ito, it's very efficient kasi around 98 to 99% at bumabalik sa liver with the help, of course, of the portal circulation, with the help of the portal vein. Sa bile naman ng birds at saka monogastrics, ang pinaka-important na bile acid is yung tinatawag natin na cholic acid. So yun yung pinakamalaking proportion with the overall bile composition. So kasama nito yung um, chenodeoxycholic acid at saka dalawang tinatawag natin na primary bile acids dahil sila mismo yung direktang synthesize sa liver from the cholesterol. So ang primary bile acids ay hindi lang basta na i-excrete. So, kailangan muna silang i-conjugate. Okay, i-conjugate sa amino acids at saka dito pumapasok ngayon yung glycine at saka yung taurine para maging water-soluble conjugates. Now, ang major bile acid conjugates, there are distinct na proportions. So, like for example, the glycocolate at yung glycokinodeoxycholate merong parehas na 24% which helps with the bile salts na available, nagbibigay ng um, a greater portion with the bile salts na available para sa emulsification ng fats. Ang taurine conjugates naman, like for example, the taurocolate at saka yung taurocino-deoxycholate, mas maliit yung proportion, around 12% each. Pero very important tong mga to when it comes to the chemical stability at saka micelle formation. Then meron din tayo yung mga intermediate na bile salts. Like for example, The glycodeoxycholate, that is 16%, the taurodeoxycholate, that is 8%, and then we have the various na lito cholate, that is 4%, na still nagbibigay dagdag when it comes to the flexibility ng bile composition. Siyempre, depende pa rin siya sa diet at saka sa metabolic needs ng animals natin. So, when it comes now with the physiology of these ones, ang pagkaka-conjugate ng bile acids sa glycine at taurine ay nagpapataas ngayon yung solubility sa aqueous environment ng small intestine. Kaya mas effective na emulsify yung dietary fats. So ang combination ng different conjugates is parang pinapahintulutan niya yung bile na magkaroon ng optimal pH stability. And then another one is yung detergent action at saka yung micelle formation, which is very important in the efficient na digestion at saka absorption ng mga lipids. So ang bile acids na ito matapos after na magamit sa digestion, halos entirely it will be reabsorbed sa ileum. Then bumabalik sa liver, syempre with the help of the hepatic circulation, with the help of the hepatic vein. So I have already discussed also what is the function of the pancreas. Okay, yung importance niya. So, sa carbohydrates, ang pancreatic amylase, yung nag-hydrolyze ng starches at complex sugars, nagko-contribute ng 50% ng total carbohydrate digestion. Sa proteins naman, yung pancreatic proteases, like for example, the trypsin, the chymotrypsin, okay, sila yung nagde-denature ng mga peptide bonds, contributing the 50% of the protein digestion. And then for the lipid digestion, yung pancreatic lipase, kasama na yung bile salts, are responsible naman for the 90% ng lipid digestion. Okay? Then, aside from the enzymes, ang pancreas, as what I've said a while back, siya din yung nagpo-produce ng sodium bicarbonate. Okay? So this is a base na tumutulong when it comes to the neutralization ng acidic chyme from the proventriculus, and then we have the gizzard. Okay, so that ends my discussion. So nandito naman na yung mga pancreatic juices, ano yung compositions nila. Okay, and then eto, mga lipase until the sucrase, maltase. So these are just the enzymes na nandoon sa composition ng pancreatic juices. So thank you very much for listening.